Hi kids. Today we're doing a lab called chemical reactions, and what we're going to do is observe some chemical reactions and measure their temperatures, okay? And we're going to decide whether they're endothermic or exothermic, okay? Remember, endothermic is D, has a D in it, D for down, the temperature goes down, and an exothermic reaction, the temperature goes up, okay? It gets hotter. So to know if a chemical reaction takes place, there's 5 signs. One of them is change in temperature, change in smell, change in color, bubbles form, and the formation of a solid from 2 liquids, okay? For the first part of the lab, I'm going to have the kids look at 4 different powders labeled A, B, C, and D, okay? A, B, C, and D. And we're just going to write down whether or not they are granular, which means they look like kind of like a rock shape. They are crystalline, they have a perfect cube shape, or they're more of a powder, and their color. Okay, so powder A, you can see, is blue and white, and if you can see close up, those are a little bit of crystals. Not crystals, they're more granular, like a rock shape, okay? This is B. B is also white, it's bright white. Okay, and if you look closely, it's more of a powder, okay? Very fine-grained powder. Okay, C is tan in color, and you can, if you look closely, it almost looks like little sprinkles, okay? Sprinkle. So I guess you'd have to say granular or sprinkly. And then D, again, is white and another powder. Okay, it's really thin, you can't see any crystals. Okay, so that's for part 1. For part 2, we are going to use a model over here. We're going to use different striped straws to measure out a sample of each on a spot plate. There are 12 spots. They're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to use spots 1 through 4. In spot 1 is going to go powder A, powder B, powder C, and powder D. And I'm going to use different colored straws to measure the powders. Starting with the red for A, it's going to go on spot 1. I'm going to take a little scoop of the powder, and I'm going to drop it in spot 1. I'm going to put the lid on. B for blue in spot 2. Okay. Green is 3 in spot 3. And yellow is 4 in spot 4. Nope, I'm just videoing. Okay, so we have in spots 1, 2, 3, and 4, a sample of each powder. Okay, and for the first 2 spots, I'm going to do 10 drops of water. As I do the 10 drops, I'm going to have Ms. Schaaf here take a measurement on our kitchen thermometer temperature probe. She's going to take a sample of what it is before, and then she's going to turn it towards the camera to see what it is after. Alright, for the first one, probably don't want to hold the thermometer with your fingers.
Doesn't matter. Not at the end.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's going to take the measurement. I had the kids stir. She might stir a little bit, but you can see, I don't know if you can see the temperature very clearly.
Started at 23, and it's now climbing to 27.
Yep.
25 might go a little higher.
27.5 is the highest. Okay, so it started at 23 degrees. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to wipe it off. And we're going to do spot number 2, which is B. Powder B, we're just waiting for the thermometer to reach.
It's actually quite warm in here.
Okay.
Alright.
Ready? So what's the beginning temperature?
Looks like 23.31. Wait, oh, 22. It's going down. Going down. Let's throw a little of the powder.
I think there's a little water in there.
All right, we got 21 point. Okay, go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 21.9.
And we're down, climbing down to 17. 17.1. 16.8. Looks like that might be it. 16.5. Noticing the big bubbles.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's bubbling. Both of them have bubbles, but this one is much more bubbly.
16.2 looks like it for this one.
16.2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 3. We're gonna use peroxide this time. 10 drops of peroxide. Okay. Let's see very clearly.
Starting temp looks like about 23.1.
23.1 to start. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Alrighty. Get that nice and mixed. And we are climbing. We're already 34, 35.
The temperatures. Okay. 36. 36.1, I think I saw. And it bubbled up, and now it's starting to chunk up.
Solidify. Yep.
Form solid.
Ends up being solid.
Yep. And then the last one, we're going to use vinegar.
The Fed department meeting will be in the county this afternoon. The Fed department meeting
Starting at 22.3.
22.3 to start, and we're going to add 10 drops of vinegar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, notice it's bubbling and fizzing.
And 17.
And the thermometer is reading 17.
17.7.
17.7. Okay.
Yep, that was the low, 17.7.
Okay, so just to review, okay, we saw 2 endothermic reactions and 2 exothermic reactions, okay? Powder A and powder C, spots 1 and 3 were both, technically the temperature went up, so it's exothermic. Okay, spots 2 and 4 were endothermic, the temperature went down, and it got cooler, and we'll talk more about it in class.
I think you're overreacting, Mrs. Christian.
Oh, look at Mrs. Schaaf's shirt. It's the best!